So we are super well rested from our travels and ready to begin our Nerf day. I think the Draculina is taking advantage of the Keurig, and we brought up some of their continental breakfast, which is pretty sweet. This is actually an already sliced grapefruit, which I've never seen before at a hotel, so that's kind of cool. Alright, so we finally arrived. This is Thunderdome, and we'll make tons of videos about this later, but it's just so cool to finally be here in this wonky Nerf arena in the middle of suburbia. It's just awesome. And then this is, of course, Rob's house. This is our host, Rob, in his kind of like funky denim suit thing, and then he put us up in his game room, which is too cool. And so he's already started loading us up. He saved a ton of elites for us. The Draculina brought all of her own stuff, so she's got her Celine loadout, but I didn't bring a whole lot due to space. I did bring my battle belt. I couldn't leave it behind. Rob tossed me a loner alpha trooper, and I don't like risking it with other mags, so I did bring all of my favorite 12s, the usual suspects. I ended up bringing the empty holster rig for my hammer shots, but I had to leave the owl hammer shots behind because we just ran out of space in here. All in all, I think that we've got most of the stuff that we need. I did bring a little bit of Koosh darts, but I'm not entirely sure where they are right now.
I got you these!
Yes! At last my arm is whole once more! So now we can double wield hammer shots just like good old Georgia HVZ. Thanks so much, Rob!
I know where a snake is!
That's a dick joke right there.
So while that was a pretty funny joke, I also actually knew where the first snake was. I'd been walking around, and on my way to the mission briefing point, I saw something that looked a lot like strange paracord as I was making my way. So while they're explaining how many snakes we need for certain objectives, I decided to bolt off on my own over this way, and then I retrieved the snake, and you can see here that it looks kind of like just some sort of rope that has a knot in the end, and what a really cool mission objective. So I bring that back and I show it to the rest of the humans, and we kind of set off on our adventure. We're trying to find 20 snakes. We're in the main group here, kind of getting to know people and making friends, and the Draculina and I decide to take point as we head out and see if we can't find some more snakes. And I'm pretty sure that the zombies are over to the left on the other side of this building that you can see here as we're crossing the street, and then they kind of make contact up towards the front, but they don't really have the numbers to confront us too terribly bad. And then right about here, the Draculina sees a snake off in the distance and goes to pick that up, and so we make it to 2 snakes total, which is pretty good.
Yeah, you found a snake!
Humans, can I get a 1, 2, 3, yeehaw?
Yee-haw!
1, 2, 3, yeehaw!
I'm checking left. I got one.
So at this point, we're kind of clearing this quad. We've just had an engagement with a few zombies, and while they're trying to regroup and figure out who isn't stunned, we kind of clear this area and see if we can find any more snakes. I think that we have 4 of our snake objectives at this point, so we're not very far into the mission at all. The zombies have a 5-minute stun timer, and I guess I'll just take a quick second to apologize. I had no idea that with the chest rig and my Apex weapon system holster rig, you'd have to be looking at my hammer shot handle kind of dangling in the frame for most of this footage. So that's kind of a shame, but hopefully it doesn't bother you guys too bad. It was very important to me to have a sidearm just right there where I could use it at any point if the Alpha Trooper let me down. And that doesn't happen at all during this mission, but it does happen later on in the game, so I do get to draw those at some point Now, as we're moving back, the zombies respawn, and we all kind of turn and engage. Somebody else gets that back area, and I decide to take the side, which wasn't too terribly hard to clear, and so we move further back after we kind of regroup and make sure that everybody is still a-okay. We move back to the safe zone that the humans have cleared earlier in the week, which is kind of like a overhang for a bus stop. Not the best safe area, but it worked, and then we get everybody together there. I think I top off the 18 mag that Rob loaned me, and then we kind of proceed with the mission from there. We pick up a little bit of reinforcements from humans that were in class earlier too, which is kind of sweet.
Oh, we already found him.
Here we have an unexpected attack, so we all turn and fire at our 6, and I only get one shot in. My kill count is really low so far. That's kind of sad.
Okay, so back there.
All right, everybody, group up.
I'll cover your back since no one else wants to.
And so the girl who just offered to kind of help me group up the squad's name is Ashley, and it's in that moment that I decided that we would join Ashley's squad for this game, which is called Speed Squad, and they get a lot of stuff done, so we get to make great friends with them later on.
Checking left. Where at? Got it.
Hooray, it's another snake. Ashley points it out, and I just go and grab it.
All right, group up.
They have like 2 minutes left, is what Shannon said. For the main group.
Yeah, there's a couple stragglers, but all in all, okay. Make sure we're keeping pace. Nothing else.
So I take left again. I'm just kind of doing my usual role when I roll in a squad with like Chicken, Nom, and Bobo, and then even my old squad a long time ago, I would always just kind of play auxiliary and get mission objectives and sort of float around the main group, which is really good. It kind of acts as like a zombie spotter, so to speak, plus it means that we usually get all of the side goals accomplished. So in this case, it's finding snakes. There weren't any snakes on these stairs, but it kind of gives you a feel for how I play and why my loadout is the loadout that I use for humans versus zombies.
We're not going in McDonald's.
Yeah, like left through this patio, so like down, around, and then left.
Stairs, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, how about we flank them across?
Because it's pointless. They'll flank us. If we make smaller groups, they'll just pick one.
There's not enough of them to take us if we stay together.
Alright, I just don't want to go downstairs.
Does anybody have loose darts while I'm just sitting here?
So
drawing?
here we get to meet Rhett, who kind of plays like a support
It's like
role.
if
He
somebody's
uses
gonna dump
a
out
modified
your
cyclone shock, which gets decent performance and range, and he fires couche darts out of it, so he's pretty lethal with that. But he also carries this giant pouch of just loose darts, as well as a couple of fully loaded clips, even though he himself does not carry any clip blasters. So even though he didn't roll with Speed Squad and I only got to like kind of intersect with him whenever we'd come to cover the main group, he became a very fast friend of mine and really helped me stay like topped off on all of my clipazines throughout the game. Plus he's just like a great guy and has a really cool beard.
Alright, humans on me, let's move!
What's your stud time? Careful on the stairs, guys.
See the snake? Here.
Hey, shoot him again. Yeah, there you go.
Let's go. I'm looking for my kids. Is that a PSU or what? No, not a type of PSU. This
Don't
one.
go by the door.
Good call.
So here we've just been running around the campus for a good half hour or so picking up snakes. We've got most of the objectives in our group. At this point we discover that there is also a secondary group of humans that are running around while we distract the zombies, picking up the remaining snakes, which has been really good. We have a couple of light skirmishes. Not all of it is captured on camera, but we end up completing the mission entirely. We open up some loot crates. I don't get anything really great out of the loot crates because I'm new to campus and I'm not officially part of a squad at this point in the game, so most people take the loot. Ashley gets some human armor, another guy gets some human armor. We did get some of like the quote-unquote junk in the loot crate. The Draculina took the loot crate avocado and crayons, and I took a little sheriff's badge, which I put on my battle belt rig kind of thing, which I thought was cool. So even though we didn't get any of the in-game perks, we definitely got some fun stuff. We got to interact with some of their special class zombies like Slenderman and their spitter, which throws a pillow. And it was just really a great warm-up into the game and a good way to meet people. So we finished this one up. We didn't get anything super duper special out of it, but it was a complete human victory, and we picked up a train piece for the game. So all in all, it was a lot of fun. It was a good way to spend the morning, and then we kind of rolled that into the night mission. So we nailed the first mission earlier in the day, and now we're headed back to campus. Rob was nice enough to loan us a car, so we're actually going all on our own. I've loaded up the hammer shots, and I'm just going to play hammer shots only. We'll see if that works. And I also took... where is it? I took the dump pouch off of my battle belt so that I can hold a bunch of loose darts like that. That's normally how I holster my hammer shots, but this should be really interesting. I'll see if I can get more game footage for you guys. I think I'll use the Artemisia as the primary hammer shot, which is down here on my belt, and then I'll use the other two as backups, but it should just be a root toot and good time. Get it? 'Cause Wild West. So I left this segment in real quick because the guy walking over to my right there and then standing up and talking to everybody goes by Cambo. His name is Cameron, but Cambo is a better Nerf name, and he kind of runs the human squad, or at least the main group of human squad, and Draculina and I decided to run with speed squad, but the main squad kind of distracts the zombies in almost all of the missions for this game, and I just wanted to kind of introduce Cambo because he's almost always at the center of that main group of humans. He rocks, I want to say, a lightly modified Retaliator because his main job is actually just calling orders and making sure that the humans stay organized, and every game should have a guy like that because it makes things way smoother. So we're gonna kind of go through who Speed Squad is. Ashley is up in front. She runs the squad. This is the squad that Draculina and I decided to join. Over to my right, pretending to be a Native American for the Wild West theme, is Muskrat, who has like braided hair into multiple ponytails for the theme, as well as face paint. And then running out in front of me in the gray is Nathan, who is a sock ninja, which means that he only carries socks, and he does that so that he can carry heavy objectives and kind of help run quickly to things that need to be like activated. So here we get our first really good zombie charge of the mission, and they weren't expecting, I guess, a fully overhauled hammer shot because I get to pop one off from a distance and then a couple of close calls here, but Speed Squad proves to be very effective. Dual hammer shots for HVZ proves to be not the best primary. The first high five comes from Draculina, and then the second one is from Harry Nerf Commando, who is also a member of Speed Squad.
Sorry.
That was awesome.
Be ready for the rush from behind.
Charlie, why'd you have to go and die on me, Charlie?
Why can't we just be friends with them?
So right now Speed Squad is acting as kind of a buffer, using our multiple armored people like Harry and Ashley, so that the main squad can kind of form up on a mosaic, which is the jail, and we catch up and group up with the main squad to help them hold that, which is the ultimate objective for this mission, is to keep the, quote, basic bandits inside the jail so that they can't blow anything up. And I think that we make our way there. The zombies kind of start to flank around, and they get ready for a very large charge. They get a special class called the Boomer, which allows them to do multiple incoming waves in rapid succession, which is pretty effective for them. But I think that we form up pretty soon on that mosaic, and then I'll show you that footage.
One, go! Touch me the broken leg!
So you were down.
Yes, sir. Ammo check, gentlemen and ladies.
Zombies over here!
Okay.
So we survive the first wave, no problemo. We lose one guy, two to my right, and then we survive, I want to say, like 3 more waves, losing only 2 more humans, and sadly my GoPro runs out of battery right before this second charge. But it was a very exciting mission, and it concludes our first day of HVZ for the Missouri State game. I'll see you pretty soon with Vidoc 3.